What is going on, everybody? I hope everyone is having a great weekend. It is Sunday, November 18th, 2018. It's starting to get into the late evening here. I just finished up my watch list for the upcoming week, and let's go over it. I posted it already to the Discord group, and I thought real quickly I'll just make a quick video and show you guys the watch list. I'm going to try to run through this as fast as I can because I don't want this video to be too long. So let's jump into it. Weekly watch list for November 19th through the 23rd of 2018. Notes: the past 2 weeks, we have seen a lot of low floats explode in the market and quick falls back down. With that being said, I am going into this week with low float stocks on watch, keeping the recent low floats that spiked the past few weeks on close watch for any momentum to return. We have Thanksgiving this week on Thursday, November 22nd. If I don't see you guys or post another video until Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you all enjoy the time with your family and your loved ones, and just enjoy the time with your family. Take a break. This is the time where volume will start to get really low in the market because a lot of traders take time off. They spend time with their family. So happy Thanksgiving. Got that out of the way. I hope you all enjoy. So we have Thanksgiving this week on Thursday, November 22nd. The markets will be closed. With us having a holiday this week, we might see a dip in volume as traders will take a break and spend time with family. So I will not look for powerful breakouts and will focus on range-bound plays and quick low float pumps. We've seen the SPY dip below the 200 MA on the daily and bounce, making a higher low, closing this week just above the 200 MA. I will look for another dip back down going into next week on the SPY. Same goes for the NASDAQ, but the NASDAQ was able to close just above the 200-day MA. DGAS and UGAS, battle of the titans of natural gas last week. Very fun and interesting to watch last week. DGAS just could not break through for and hold Friday and looks to be starting to break below its range below $3.40. Should be interesting to watch these as well this week. Also, UNG, BOIL, KOLD, other natural gas ETFs worth tracking and watching. There was news on DGAS doing a 1-for-20 reverse split, and they're going to be doing that on November 26th. Another news clip of natural gas. This is just both Yahoo Finance. You can go into yahoofinance.com, type in UGAS and DGAS, and you'll get a rundown of all the natural gas. Recent low float stocks to watch. ANY, float 1.9 million. We've seen two great spikes on this last week. It loves to move with volume. If it can get above 3 and hold above 3, it has room to run up to $3.50, $4. If it can get up above 4, look out. RSLS, float 330,000. I really don't know what the float is on RSLS. I go to different sites, I see different things posted for RSLS. I go to Trade Ideas, the float says 30,000. I'll go to FinViz, it says 300,000. Yahoo Finance says something different. So I really don't know what the float is on RSLS. I just know it's really super low. Really crazy and super fast mover. Monday this opened at 2, ran up to 736 in the first hour of the market open and fell all the way back down below its open price, making a low of $1.60. Would have to be fast with this one. Also could have a lot of stubborn bag holders hoping this comes back up so they can get out. Recent news, it recently had a 1 for 140 reverse split, Q3 loss, and revenue loss. GBR, float 2.1 million, recent news, Q3 loss, form 8K, form 10Q. I am liking how the daily chart is forming a pattern, getting tighter and tighter, support basing at $2. If this can get above 3 and hold, anything can happen. Current resistance at 250 and 3. Again, very fast mover. And then I just have MTSL float 1.9 million, just keeping it on basic watch because it is a recent spiker and recent supernova. Next up, we got LCI float 32 million. Loving the chart pattern on this as it has a huge gap to fill. Currently on the daily, it looks to be squeezing up to the resistance at 650. If this does break to the upside, I am seeing resistance at 780 where the 100 moving average is, and the top of the gap at $13. MTNB float 81 million, current support at 70-75 cents, resistance at $1. Chart shows this loves to U-shape and fall right back down. It did recently post bad earnings though on the 12th of November. ATXI float 5.6 million. Recent news of Q3 loss. Loss was smaller than expected and it got momentum. Just an interesting one to watch and see what it does. DXR float 790,000. Still holding its range from 625 to 825, 850. This is a must watch for me. NIO float 165 million, has been trending up. Look for continuation and reversal. Another interesting watch. Support at 680 through 7 and resistance at 750. AEZS float 16 million. At near multi-year highs. I would want a pullback on this and possibly retest the multi-year highs. And then GLUU float 137 million. Very crazy stock. Loves to move violently up and down. Another ticker at near multi-year highs. Also, I'm going to add pot stocks. I just remembered this. We've seen pot stocks the past couple weeks start to pick up and move, but the pot stocks have really been violently up and down. Very, very choppy. The pot stocks that you have to have on your watch list are TLRY, CRON, NBEV, IGCC, and then there's an OTC one. What one's that one? CVSI. I think I'm forgetting another one. I can't remember. But let me pull this aside and we'll just look at the charts of all these stocks I have on my watch list. So if I go to market strength real quick, we got DGAS and UGAS. These are inverse ETFs, natural gas. Recently, DGAS was trading up here at $15, as you can see right here, and it fell all the way down to just below $3. And then since it fell below that, it pops into this range right here from 470 to 340. You can see up, down, back up. It failed to hold above this $4 here on Friday and fell back below its support right here and came back above it and fell right back below it and closed right there. Same thing with UGAS. Was in this range here from 110 to 150. Up and down in this range. And it looks when it closed Friday, it came out of the trend, went back below it, and closed right out of it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these going into next week on Monday. A lot of people are going to be watching this. All right, what do we got here? ANY. The first hour of the day, every single day, it seems like right around 10 o'clock, 10:30, these low floats love ripping and spiking. And we've seen it the past 2 weeks. First we had RSLS. Then we had, I forgot the order. I know ANY did it right here from $1.70, spikes up to a high of 424. Falls right back down. And then Friday it rips from 2 up to 3. So anything, if this can get back above 3, this could easily hit $3.50, $4. This is all my opinion though. These are everything I say in this. I am not a financial advisor. Don't take anything I say as financial advice. This is just all education and entertainment. This is my point of view. This is what I think. So that was any. And next we're going to do RSLS. RSLS way over here on Monday. This was just insane. I made a video on this and I was able to record the market when it did this. This thing spiked. Look at this. Opens here at $2. Literally the first hour of the day runs from $2 all the way up to $7.30 and then falls all the way back down to $1.65. And then if you would have watched this the next day, literally the first 6 minutes of the market open, it spikes from $1.90 up to $2.78. $1 rip right there up in 6 minutes. Opportunity right there. There's a little zoomed out view of it. And then the rest of the week, it just puttered off. But this is going to be on watch because anything could happen with this. Momentum could easily come back into this at any time. The only thing that worries me are all the people, all the sheep, all the chasers who love to hold and hope, who bought in all up here and on the way down. And they're just holding it, hoping for it to spike back up so they can get out. That's my only concern with this. This is my only concern with this, is bag holders. Next up, we got GBR. GBR had a these charts are ugly because they're low float pumps. That's all they are. And this is what's been in play the past few weeks. Low float pumps the first hour of the day. Another one was GBR. Very, very fast. Very fast. Going from 2 up to almost 3. I said if this can get above $3 and hold $3, this is where momentum could come into this. But since we're going into Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to lose a lot of that momentum and volume because of Thanksgiving. I'm going to be sticking with range-bound plays this upcoming week. I'm not going to be looking for breakouts. Next up, we got LCI. LCI has a float of 32 million. I'm loving the chart pattern on this. Let me show you. Recently, this was trading at $13 area, and it had this big gap down right here. Stocks love to try to fill gaps. So this fell all the way down to 335 and then just recently rallied up to 625, this resistance right here. If it can break above 650, it's got this whole gap to fill, with really resistance at 780 and the resistance up here at the top of the gap of $13. But what I would look for this to do, what I'm liking about this is how it's forming this U shape right here. It's forming a U shape. It could either break to the upside, but what I'm wanting, I want to pull back on this for it to just continue getting tighter and tighter and pop through this resistance. So that's what I'll be looking for. Or a possible pullback back down and then working its way back up. So this LCI might be on a watch for a while. And this is what it did through the week. Let's see. Finding support down here in the $5 area. Resistance at 585. Hitting a high pre-market up here at 634. And then look at that drop on it right there. From 634 back down to 540. And then a very fast rip. Very fast rip up, 540 up to 618. Look at that, even right here, had a very fast rip up. So what's this telling me? Every day, this likes to rip up. I'm not going to take it as this is going to rip up in the morning, but there's a pattern here. The pattern is, like I said, it's liking to rip up in the morning. It's moves it likes to do in the morning. Right here, we got to move from, first we got to sell down, and then it rips from 540 up to 618, and then it does nothing the rest of the day. The next day, again, opens up, falls down, and then rips from 515 all the way up to 583. Goes sideways all the way up until lunch, and at the end of the day, it sells off. The next day, again, falls down, rips back up, and then falls the rest of the day. Here again, opens up, rips up, hung around in this area. The next day, Friday, 570 rips up to a high of $6, $6.10. Rips right back down and then just slowly grinds up the rest of the day. Those are the types of patterns you look for on these charts. How does this stock like to move? I'm seeing that this stock likes to make majority of its moves the first 15 minutes of the market open. Falls off, rips up. So then we got MTNB. A lot of stocks on the watch list this week. MTNB, okay, I'm just liking the daily on this. As you can see here recently, it comes up from 40 cents, runs all the way up to $1.50, pulls back to the 70-cent area, the 200-day MA, bounces off it, runs up to $1.11, comes back down, bounces right off the 70-cent area, runs right back up to $1.31 this time. Pulls back again. Now it's bouncing off the 50-day MA at 70-cent area. And again, what's this liking to do? U-shapes. So I'll be looking for this to do another U-shape from the 70-cent area up to the $1.10 area. and that's MTNB with the float of 81 million. On the intraday, it doesn't look interesting at all. It really doesn't. You can see here it did a lot of its move here after hours, from $1 up to $1.60, and then right at the open just crumbles and falls hard back to 81 cents. Let me see. Yeah, you see these U shapes when you zoom out on it. You got your spike here, consolidation, spikes, pulls back, U shape right there, pulls back, very big U shapes right there, pulls back. So when it pulls back, it takes days for it to pull back. And then it'll gradually start to move up. U shape there, big downfall right there, but then we did get a little U shape, and now it's starting to fall back down and starting to go sideways, so I'll start to look for it to start trending back up. Next up, we got ATXI. ATXI float 5.6 million. Recent news, a lot of these were Q3 losses, but still found momentum to go up. But this ATXI's Q3 loss was smaller than it expected, and that's what got this momentum. And I just have this on watch to see what it does. If the intraday on it just looks horrible, but you could see here, this was recently at 210, and then it spikes up to 550, falls back down, consolidates, starts to U-shape up all the way up until its earnings right here. Then when it finally released its earnings, it was loss, but its loss was smaller than it expected, and it continued to still go. And this is, let me pull up the daily. And this is the daily right here. Got this big green candle here. How much volume was that day? Looks like 1.3 million. So it doesn't take much for this stock to get going with the 5.6 million in float. Big red candle here, almost a million. And then 263,000, 170,000, 214,000. So me, this is something I wouldn't want to get in large in. You know, because when I go to the 3-minute, it just doesn't look tempting at all. Doesn't look tempting, but the more time frames I move up, see, look at that. But on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, and the 65-minute, looks a lot better. Still a little, you know, choppiness through here, but I want stocks with volume. That's why I'm not going to play this. And it's up way too much. I'd want this to pull back down and then move its way back on up. Next up is DXR. DXR float 790,000, still holding its range from 625 to 825. So that's the 65-minute. Let me go to the 30-minute here. You see this green line for support, this red line for resistance. Since this spike from 450 to a high of 940, it's been coming down and continuously bouncing. It's bounced 3 times off this 625 level, and it's run up to 825 right here, ran up to $8 there, and it ran up to a high of 870 right here. So this is a perfect opportunity for it to test this 625 and hold and start moving its way back on up. So this is a good range play I'll be eyeing going into this week. Next up, NIO. float of 165 million has been trending up. Look for continuation and reversal. Another interesting watch. Currently support at $6.80, $7, resistance at $7.50. All right, let's see here. So we see it trended down, had this just spike up, consolidated, trended down, and now it's reversed and it's trending up. So I'm seeing resistance right here at 833. Support 680 right here. See that little gap down at the top of this gap? So $7. I'd want to see $7 hold as support on this. Right there. You see when it fell below it and it came up, it touched this area right here, and it surged over it right here. So that $7 area is showing an area of interest. And then from 7 it goes up to 765. And now it's pulling back right now. You can also put a trend line on this as well. From the very bottom. Just like that. You can see how that has an ascending wedge pattern to it. And it finally broke out of that pattern. And when these stocks like to break out of patterns, more times than none, they'll come back and test that old resistance as support. Beautiful example right here. Beautiful. You'll see this happen over and 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 over again. I'm not exaggerating. This is what other traders look for all the time. This is called capitalization. Capitalizing on remembering these patterns and capitalizing on it. Don't be the one who chases it. Be patient. That's why they say patience pays. It broke out to a high of 760. Okay. More times than none, it's going to retrace back. Test that old resistance as support. If it holds and starts trending up, that's where you put your risk. Just below this support right here. And you put a price target just below, I would, of the previous high it made. So I'd probably put my price target at like 750 just to be safe. So from 7 to 750, that would be my price target. Bada boom, bada bang. All right, we're almost there, guys. We got 2 more. Well, 3 more. AEZS is the next one. So AEZS, what did I write? Float 16 million at near multi-year highs. Would want a pullback on this and possibly retest the multi-year highs. So with that being said, let me bring over the daily. Zoom out on it. This is where we're at right here. Okay? You see all these top levels right here. And if I keep going back and back and back, we're still around, well, I go down a little bit. So right here was the last time, you know, this area was, and this was in 2013. And since 2013, it's trended down and it's come back up. And you can see it topped here, 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 and possibly right here. And all these areas are going back to the old high, way over here. This area, 2013. So it's at this area of interest. So I would look for it to possibly hold in this area and build up strength to push through that multi-year breakout of a high. Or it could do what it's done in the past right here. Touch the high here and fall right back down. Part of a reason why you want to be a big history buff when doing technical analysis. You want to see what the chart did in the history. So after viewing the daily, what it's done in the past, it's going to probably come up maybe to 3 and fall right back down. I just have it on the watch list just to watch to see what it does. And then next up we got GLUU. GLUU float 137 million. Very crazy stock, loves to move violently up and down. Another ticker at near multi-year highs. So when these stocks get near its multi-year highs, I love keeping an eye on them because who knows what they'll do. You could see here when I zoom out on the daily, the top here, the last time it's been at around this top area, if I zoom back, it's topped out around this area all here. And it hasn't been in this area since 2007. That's 11 years ago. So if I zoom in just a little bit on it, you guys really can't see it. I'm going to try to zoom in. Hold on. Going all the way back to 2007. Okay, right here. You see that gap down right there? That gap down, there's a gap. At the top of the gap, it's at 960. That's going to act as resistance. So right now, the current price is just below $8. If it gets above $8 and starts moving back up, you got to look back. You got to look back. The last time it's been in this area was 2007. So that 960 could possibly act as resistance. That's going back a long time. Look at how long. It took it 11 years after this big drop off from 9 all the way down to 22 cents. It took it 11 years to get all the way back up. Wow. Realistically, it took 4 years because it's right here. But I don't know if this has done any reverse splits. Alright, last up, pot stocks. TLRY, the daddy. TLRY looks like it's still making lower lows on the daily with lower highs, so you could put a trend line on this. It's kind of hard to start it. I'll start it at the top of the wick right here. See, because you could start one there or put a trend line, I'm going to say right there. I like that trend line better. See, that's why they say this isn't a science. This is an art form. So you see me just put 2 trend lines. This one seems to be working out better. And this is continually making new lows. I don't really want to put a trend line up on it. I mean, you could. But this is the daddy pot stock. Whatever this does, the other ones seem to always follow. TLRY is the famous one that went from $22 to a high of $300 within just a couple weeks. And then IGCC, I believe this was the one that was IGC, and then it got delisted off the NASDAQ. And then they put it over here and just put an extra C in front of it. But I'm not 100% sure on that. That's what I'm just thinking. But IGC, this is an ugly one. Look at that. Gaps up, 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 up. Falls down. Gaps up, 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 up. Up, up, up. Falls down. Gaps down. And it's recently just been crap. But NBEV, let's look at this one. Same thing. Gaps up, crap. I haven't traded pot stocks at all. I mean, they just haven't shown any interest to me. And look at the, this is the 30-minute. Look at how choppy that is. Just crazy gaps up, violent spikes up, gaps down, violent spikes down. Let's move down in the time frame. Let's look at it, the 10-minute. But these are tradable because this is where a lot of volume and attention is. And I could clearly see a downtrend on this. Clearly see a downtrend. I could put a trend line right on it. Right here, all the way down. See that? Hasn't been able to break over this trend line high. It's continuously making lower highs. When a stock's making lower highs and lower lows, it's in a downtrend. But this is a great downtrend. You could take advantage of this. Simply get in on it when it reaches the trend line low. Ride it up. Sell. Wait for it to come all the way back down. Get in. When it pops up, sell. And just do that over and over and over again. But this looks like the range on it, though, is getting to be a bit bigger. You can see how it's starting to get wider and wider as you zoom out. But this is the importance of looking at stocks in multiple time frames. The 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 65 minute. You just get a better picture when you put it all together. And then this watch list thing's getting to be a bit too long. But this is a really good video so far. Doing a good job. Go to the 65 minute real quick. So NBEV is at the top of its resistance line. So I'd wait. I'd personally wait for it to come right back down. Once again, draw a trend line on it. That's why all these traders say patience pays. Stick to your plan. And if your plan doesn't work, get out. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. Going into this week, why would I want to try to buy it up here at its resistance? For it to fall on me from 450 down to 350, down to 3, down to 2, down to 230. What's the other one? CRON. Same thing with this one. You could smack a trend line right on it. From here. That's a very steep one. Let's draw another one. I'd say that's about good. I'll still keep that one though. And then it's just an ugly one. Because if I put a trend line down here, it connects all the way down there. Maybe it's starting to reverse. Maybe. This might be like the very, very, very beginning of a reversal, but I'm not going to try to predict anything. I never want to try to predict what a stock's going to do. I just want to react on what the chart's telling me. But practice this over and over and over and over and over again, and you guys will get better. Practice makes perfect. But that's the weekly watch list. We'll go over the SPY real quick and the NASDAQ, and then we'll call it we'll call it a video. We'll look at the NASDAQ 100. But looking at the daily here on the SPY, this last week it comes down from the 100-day moving average and just falls below the 200-day. It did make a lower or higher low, and then it bounces up, comes right up almost to the 200-day. So tomorrow we could see it testing this 200-day or possibly pulling back down. And what I'll be looking out for is for it again to form another higher low, to start to get tight and maybe push up and through in the future. But we've just had some nasty sell-offs this year. We've had one here, 2, 3, I'd say four good sell-offs. I don't know, that's not loading, but the NASDAQ, it closed just above the 200-day. I know this one will load. So you can see, again, just like the SPY, it comes down, falls below the 100-day, the 200-day, even the 50-day, and then bounces right up. Crosses over the 100-day, and Friday just crossed over the 200-day and was able to close just above the 200-day. So I'll be looking for this to come up to this 100-day maybe, and just graze it and pull back. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting week this week with the volume and Thanksgiving. But these are my ideas, guys, going into next week, my watch list for the next week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not part of the Trading Learning 101 community, where we all share ideas and grow as traders. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, guys, be patient, have that discipline, and study, study, study. All right, guys, later.